All right, welcome back, everybody, to Rome. And now we have Iga Swiatek. She is taking on Cocciaretto on the main stadium. And there is a few people there. It's still pretty empty, but it is middle of the day, so to be expected. Fonseca coming up as well. Yep. That is also happening. Thank you. Chat. Look, one day, I'm sure the tournaments will figure out the great schedule. But today is not that day. Today is the day where the schedule doesn't make sense. One day it will make sense. By the way, I don't even know what time it is in Brazil, but it can't be a good time in Brazil right now. Brazil time. Oh, it's first thing in the morning. Okay. Maybe that's why he's on. Maybe that's why Fonseca's on now. Before you go to work, Fonseca is playing. Maybe that is what we're doing. But Swiatek coming out on court in a second, taking on Cocciaretto. I don't know why this wouldn't be a night match unless Swiatek didn't want it to be. Because it makes sense that you would put number 2 defending champion against an Italian at night. But, again, maybe Swiatek said, no, I want to play during the day. Which is totally fair. Totally understandable. There are night matches with Italians tonight, but, again, maybe Swiatek had the option of now or last match of the day, and she's like, no, I want to play now. Because Bronzetti Mukova is the last match of the day. So, she must have had her reasons. But yeah, so Shramkova is taking out Penko right now. Again, chat, we gotta... I feel like this is a good learning experience for everybody. Because I know when Penko won Stuttgart, a lot of people got confused about whether or not Penko was going to win the French now. Now, Penko could come back and win. So, obviously, it's not over yet. But, again, if she doesn't win, just remember this for future reference. If Penko wins a title, she could lose the next 2 rounds in the first round of the next 2 tournaments, right? So, just that is the roller coaster that is Penko. And if Greg's was in the chat, he would tell you as much as well. She is a roller coaster ride to support, you know? She beat Swiatek and Sabalenka to win Stuttgart. She loses the first round of both tournaments after that. That happens. It happens. She could win the French. She could also lose first round. You know, it's just the fun of the ride. All right, Cocciaretto's walking out first. She's got tape on her right leg. It's national holiday here again, so I get to watch the day matches. Nice. Hopefully you're enjoying the day. Schneider's up 6-love, 3-love against Dollarhide. Chat. Chat, what can we do as fans to move the needle on whether or not, how can we influence as fans? Give me some ideas. We need some ideas. How can we influence as fans? How can we influence the tour to go back to 1 week Masters? Because the players have a lot more of a say. They could do a lot more. But as fans, what could we do? Is there anything that we can do besides cry every time it happens? There's got to be something we can do to try and move the needle so that way maybe the ATP and WTA go back to 1 week Masters. Because a 6-love, 3-love scoreline in a second round is not good. That's not a good for the sport. That's not a good result. Stop watching matches and just watch tennis talk. No, okay, I'm being serious for a second. Don't muck around. Don't say violent threats. It's stupid. Stop attending live matches. Well, that doesn't matter because people aren't showing up anyway. So that's fine. That's happening. But like, express our opinion on social media. Okay. Because like, I mean, the number 13 seed beating up an unseeded player, 6-love, 3-love. I mean, that's not good. Whereas if we didn't have 400 seeds and like a lot of unseeded, and I'm not saying Dollarhide doesn't deserve to be in here, but Dollarhide would have played qualifiers in a 1-week Masters, and she might not have qualified, right? Or did she play qualies? Maybe she did. Hang on, no, she played qualies, didn't she? No, she didn't. She was unseeded. So, but Schneider would have not played Dollarhide she would have played her in the first round, maybe. Or she might have played in the second round Swiatek, which, you know what I'm saying, chat? I feel like there's a lot of matches that are going on in the first and second rounds. The first rounds are, we get it, 50 versus 70 in the world. But the second rounds are like 70 versus 10. And the results are like some of these results are, 6-love, 3-love, it's crazy. I don't know. I feel like, you know what it is, chat? It's a quality versus quantity thing. That's what it is. There's a lot of quantity. You have a million matches going on. The quantity is massive. There's a lot going on. But the quality is lacking between the best, because the gap is big. The quality of the first round was great because everybody was sort of outside the top 50, right? So you had a lot of bangers in the first round, but the problem is that nobody knows who they are outside of hardcore fans like us, right? So you're looking and you go, oh, well, Monero versus Lee was a third set tiebreak, right? Oh, that's awesome. Gadetsky and Dollarhide played a banger first round. But that's great for hardcore fans, but Tomova Arango was a great match. Again. But that's great. But the quality in terms of ranking, people aren't watching those matches. I don't know. That's why I'm like, how can we do something to try and get them to go back to 1 week? Because 1 week, they might be smaller, but they're packed with quality. Second round matches between top 20 players in the second round, we love that shit. We have to wait a whole week before we get a top 20 clash. I don't know. Do we write a petition? I don't know. How do we chat? How can we help? Because I feel like the players can also help. Because again, I don't think anyone likes them. Do 2-week Masters make them more money? I don't know what the revenue is like. They wouldn't tell the public, but it's all it doesn't feel like they're doing it for any other reason but to add a couple extra days to the tournament so that. Okay, so there's a couple of reasons. One, money. More matches, more tournament, longer tournament, more ticket sales, more people going to the tennis, more money. Second thing, they've got a buffer if it rains. So if there's shitty weather, they don't have to worry about playing multiple matches on the same day. They can spread the tournament out if they need to, Which is why is Madrid a 2-week Masters? Because it's got a roof. It doesn't need to be. It could be 1 week with a roof, and that way we don't have to worry about the schedule, right? Just a thought. Rome might have to be 2 weeks because it rains in the weather, and it could affect the schedule, which means they have days to play with. Madrid doesn't need that. Madrid's got a roof. Why do we need to have 2 weeks when we've got a roof? And the rain doesn't. It did rain, but it didn't affect the tournament last week, right? Just a thought. But yeah, I don't know, man. I want to know, is there anyone in the chat that likes 2-week Masters? Does anyone in the chat like 2-week Masters? And if so, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you have to say. Because we talk about how we do not like them. But I want to know if somebody in the chat likes 2-week Masters, give me a reason why. And, I'm not going to shoot you down. I'll just let you talk. I'm happy with 2 hours. Fair enough. Indian Wells the only 2-week Masters. The tournament deserves 2 weeks. I agree. I think Indian Wells staying 2 weeks is fine. Miami is, I guess, fine. I do because I think it might mean more cam streams in total. Yeah. You know what that means though? More streams equals faster burnout. The more tennis I have to watch means the less energy I have, which means I'm gonna hit a brick wall eventually. That's why, selfishly, I want 1 week Masters because then I can actually survive, and I don't have to I'm not running into a brick wall. Totally agree, Cam. I thought Monte Carlo was great. Oh, Monte Carlo was great, short and sweet. More tennis, the better. Okay, but the thing is, are you watching more tennis, or are you just watching a little bit? I find myself, I watch more tennis because it's 2 weeks, but I'm not watching from start to finish every day. I'm only watching a couple of matches, maybe a match a day for the first 4 days. And then when the tournament starts, when the big names play, then I start watching more. But I'm not watching day 1 and 2 and 3. I'm watching one match because it's semi-interesting. I'm not watching all the matches on day 1 and all the matches on day 2 because there's just so much going on that doesn't matter in the long run. A lot of the players that win on day 1 are not going to make it to day 3 or past day 3 because they're going to play against a seed, which, unless you're, going an unseeded run, is not going to, So I don't know. But again, I want to hear from the people that like 2 week Masters and why, because those are the people that we don't hear enough of. All right, Fonseca's walking out on court as well. Luckily, this time I came prepared. So let's start this doubleheader. We haven't done a doubleheader for a while because they are a little bit a bit hectic. But Swiatek, she's serving. I think she's serving first. We'll find out what's going on. Just like you can, the first few days are a drag for me. Yeah. Making money today and tomorrow because of ranking gap, easy money. Yeah, but I don't know. Is that the best thing for the tour? Or is that the best thing for the sport? I don't know. Anyways, we'll find out because these things aren't going anywhere. They're going to be more and more 2 week Masters, and we're just going to have to live with it. Fonseca and Marozsan, they're on court right now. Let's see what happens. Swiatek is also on court, so doubleheader. We haven't done a doubleheader for a minute. After this, we have nothing because there's not much else going on after this. There are good matches, but there's nothing stream worthy. And also, like I said, 2 week Masters. I got to pace myself, which I'd rather do a 1 week Masters and just run full steam into a wall than do 2 weeks and have to slowly, because if I go too hard on the first day, I'm screwed. So it sucks for me because I can't watch more early because I know that if I do, I won't do good at I won't be able to watch the finals because I'll be too tired. But I got Swiatek in straights. I've got Fonseca in 3. 15 love. Swiatek serving first. Schneider double bagel. Yeah. Great for her. But also, yeah. I feel like a lot of double bagels are happening recently. 30 love. I feel like double bagels are not that... they've been happening a lot. And when they happen a lot, they're less and less exciting if they're less rare. I mean, All right, 30 love. By the way, winner of this men's match plays Rublev. Both Marozsan and Fonseca have beaten Rublev this year. So Rublev, worst draw ever. 7 to the back of Cocciaretto, return the net, 40 love. What is the best tournament from your point of view? I mean, if we say non-slam event, because I feel like the slams, it's hard to not pick a slam, right? But you can't have slams every week. That's what makes them special. If I had to say best non-slam event, it's Indian Wells. As Swiatek holds 1 love. It's Indian Wells, right? Indian Wells is the best non-slam event. But, and I know that this is probably where the ATP WTA are trying to go, by making every 1,000 event an Indian Wells event, I don't think it doesn't make it more special. Like making Rome a clay court Indian Wells doesn't feel special like it does when we watch Indian Wells. It doesn't feel the same. You know? Especially when Madrid's also 2 weeks. So it's like, well, are we supposed to celebrate Rome as the best event on clay before the French, or is Madrid the best? Like, we all know that Indian Wells is better than Miami, right? As a tournament, it's a bigger occasion. More players play. It's more important. Like, you have to play Indian Wells. If you don't play Indian Wells, you've missed out on an opportunity. Miami, you know, some players miss that, right? But with Rome and Madrid, what is the tournament you have to play? Do you have to play Rome or do you have to play Madrid? It feels like Rome is more important, but it's confusing because they're both 2 weeks. So, like, which one's got more weight to it? And then after Wimbledon, Cincinnati and Canada, Cincinnati feels more important, but they're extending both Cincinnati and Canada. Whereas if I had my way of, if I was doing things, I would make 2 week Masters less because then it would be more special. And then I would make, and like half the 1,000s would be 2 weeks and half would be one. And because you need that, like Monte Carlo feels better because it's 1 week. You know what I mean? Like it just feels, I don't know. I just feel like having Madrid and Rome back to back 2 weeks doesn't need to happen. I think Madrid could be 1 week and Rome could be 2. And you should maybe flip them. So do Rome first and then Madrid after as like oh shit, I didn't do well in Rome, I'm going to play Madrid. You know, I feel like that would be a better option. I mean, hell, chat, you want to go crazy? Let's go crazy. Let's make Madrid, let's add a new event, a 750. And a 750 event could be a 1 week Masters, former Masters event. Make it a 750 if you want to do that. You know, make it 1 week. It's Madrid 750 or something. I don't know. Anyway, Swiatek's got break points. Love 40, but it's 1540. She hits it out. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, yeah, if you want to, instead of doing 1,000 and make them, you know, they used to do like a tiered event where it was like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I mean, maybe make, tier 1 Grand Slams, tier 2, one, you know, Indian Wells and a handful of those events. Tier 2 or tier 3 can be a, you know, whatever. I don't know. Swiatek breaks, 2 love. If everything's 2 weeks, then nothing is, I don't know. I feel like it just doesn't, you know, it just waters it all down. But I know what I know what the ATP is trying to do. They're trying to make, you know, like they're trying to make it, and I've heard this from the directors. He's mentioned it, that he wants to make the tennis tour like Formula One, where you've got 14 key events that you have to watch. And I respect that he's trying to do that, but with the schedule the way it is, it just doesn't make sense. It would be different if there was a week between. Like if you had Indian Wells and then a week off and then Miami, that would make more sense. Or Rome, week, Madrid, week, you know, a week off. That would make so much more sense if you didn't play every week. But because they play every week and they don't have much flexibility in the schedule because you can't really move French Open because they don't control that, it just doesn't work the way that Formula One works, where they have ultimate flexibility on the schedule. 15 love. Swiatek with a 2-love lead. By the way, Fonseca and Marijan. Marijan serving first. And he wins the first point with a big serve. 15 love. I'm going to go Fonseca in 3. And Swiatek in straights is where I'm at. But Chad, I feel like I talk about this all the time. And I hate talking about it now because I'm repeating myself every 2 weeks. Chat. And I know you'll probably get bored of it. 30 love, Swiatek. I get bored of it, so you must be bored out of your brain. Swiatek serves in the backhand of Cocciaretto, returning the net. And it's 40-love. Swiatek for a 3-love lead. $40-love. Swiatek serves. And Cocciaretto hits a wide. Swiatek 3-love. This is the Swiatek that we want. This is the Swiatek that we know. By the way, Stearns is already up 3-love against Kalinskaya. And also, Ostapenko is up 3-1 in the second against Shrimkova. For me, the most vicious is expecting the top players to play 6 500s a year. Why? Yeah, that's a rough rule for the WTA. I will admit to loving this so far. Sorry, Italians, yeah. Deja, that's because you're a Swiatek fan. That's totally fine. I feel like an ELO-based ranking would be better than the event points aggregation. I don't mind that, to be honest. I don't mind that at all. 40-30. But the only problem with that, and I'm not sure, I don't know how chess works, but like, I mean, would that encourage players to, I mean, it would probably discourage players from going to play small events, right? Like if it was ELO-based, then you wouldn't go and play a 250 where everyone's way less higher, like you're higher ranked than them. You would want to go play the big tournaments all the time and only those players, right? Because you can't change your ranking then if you go. There would be no such thing as a 250 merchant, right? No one's going to play 250 events if the big names aren't there to improve. You wouldn't improve your ranking, right? But would it discourage players from going to those tournaments? And would that hurt those tournaments? But again, I don't mind it. I mean, I don't think an ELO-based ranking would be that bad. UTR ranking is an ELO ranking system. We already have it. Yeah, but they don't use it on the 8th. They don't use it in the... We're talking about adopting it in the main... We're not saying make up a new ranking. We're saying adopting it as the ranking we use in every day. Instead of... And scrapping the points, because it's like... Yeah. Big tournaments are most important, of course. Yeah, but then... Yeah. Because it's based on who you beat more than what you do in the tournament, right? ELO rankings. By the way, Turbo, hopefully you're still here because I need you to help me with this conversation because I'm not 100% smart on it. I just know a little bit about it. Love 15 is Cocciaretto hits a winner down the line, 15-all. Also, would it discourage big names from playing against... Like, would it discourage players from playing? Like, would Swiatek want... I mean, if Swiatek lost this match, her ranking would get pummeled because she's lost to somebody whose ELO ranking is way lower, right? But that's part of the risk that you take, I guess. Anyway, 15-all. I don't know how chess works. How does chess work with their, like, tournament schedule? Is it a backhand rally, and that goes out by Swiatek, 30-15. Like, how does anyone know how chess tournaments go? Do they? Because is it knockout? Is chess a knockout tournament or is it a round robin? Because I know chess use ELO a lot. Like with the chess tournament, let's say there's a US Open of chess. Is it a knockout tournament? And with a bunch of, is it like tennis where there's a bunch of seeded, like, you know, top seeds and whatever? Or is it like a bit of a round robin where you play against multiple players and then they eventually make a final or something? And it's based on like a win-loss. I don't know how chess works with the tournaments. 30-all, by the way. Good hit by Swiatek. All right, 30-all. Nice hitting by Swiatek. As Cocciaretto serves again. 30 all. Mostly round robin in chess. Sometimes they play knockout. Okay. As a return out of the forehand of Cocciaretto. Slice from Swiatek. Goes long and it's 40-30. Sometimes they play knockout. Other times they play Swiss style, which is round robin, but you get paired with player of similar score each round. Okay, so yeah, so that wouldn't work in tennis because then you'd have you wouldn't have, yeah. I don't think that would work. You only lose ELO if you lose. So if you don't lose, you stay up the top. True. I mean, it would be a more accurate... Because the thing with tennis, right, is if you beat the world number one and it's in the second round, you don't get any bonus points. Like, if you beat Sabalenka at Wimbledon in the third round, you get the same amount of points as if somebody beat a qualifier. And that feels... I mean, I don't know how they I mean, I know how I can they get bonus points if they win against the best players. But I mean, I think the United Cup are kind of experimenting with that system, right? Where they go, if you beat someone in the top 20, you get this many points. It doesn't matter what round it is. But yeah, I mean, you could beat, if you cause one of the biggest upsets of the year, but it's not the final, you get like nothing for it. But the points is just trash. Like, you don't get... Like, if you beat Alcaraz at the French Open in the second round and Zverev beats a qualifier, you get the exact same points. And that seems weird because you've just done something incredible and very hard, yet you don't get any reward besides fame and glory. and maybe the fame and glory wears off because, we have short memories. Swiatek for love. So, you'll be remembered for that week. But and then you have to win the next match. Otherwise, you get nothing else. If you lose third round, who cares? But I don't know. I feel like there should be a bonus if you beat certain number players, right? You beat a top 20 player, you get points for it. I feel like that should be something. It would be very confusing to understand for us first, but I feel like it wouldn't be a bad system. ELO in chess is different. If you beat much better, higher ranked opponent, you get more points. Yeah, exactly. I know how that works, but I don't know how it'd be implemented in tennis. I mean, it could be implemented in tennis. I mean, it should be as like a side rankings. Like, can somebody? I don't know how if anyone could figure it out, but could anyone figure out like a top 10 based on like an ELO system? How could that be done? Could somebody do that? Is someone smart enough in the chat to do that? Anyways, love 30. Cocciaretto trying to get one of the breaks back. 2-1 for Fonseca, by the way. Because that would definitely be a more accurate description, it would be a more accurate depiction of who is playing well, right? Who is the best? UTR has the pro players ranked as well. All right, let me have a look at the ratings. UTR ratings. I want to see if they reflect the top... Because, I mean, let's be honest. Sometimes players in the top 10 are not playing top 10 tennis. Yeah, so, okay, this is interesting. Maybe we should start using the UTR rankings chat. Interesting. UTR chat. We might start doing UTR. UTR rankings are awesome. I wish they had this system when I was growing up because I would have loved to be. I would have been all over this, playing UTR tournaments and shit. I'm just too old now. 30 all, by the way. We'll go through the UTR. I don't know how they do their rating, but I kind of know how they do it. I don't know if it's based on a... Is it based on a... I think it's based on a 12-month system as well, right? All right, 30 all. Swiatek looking for that bagel. There's a back in now. Swiatek is an inside-out winner, and it's 40-30. Been playing chess for years, and even I don't understand. It's complicated. Okay, fair enough. UTR has the... so UTR might be... We might have to adopt UTR on the channel. Because UTR rankings might actually reflect a lot better than the actual rankings. 40-30. As return goes back into Swiatek. Back in now from Cocciaretto. Swiatek backhand. Cocciaretto pass is long. 5-love Swiatek. Also, breakpoint Marijan. 30-40. Tennis Abstract have ELO rankings. Really? Where? I use that site. I haven't seen them. I'll have to check. Anyways, that goes out by Fonseca. Marijan breaks 3-1. All right, so chat. I'm gonna name the top 10. Actually, hang on. What did Pat? So Pat, it's based on a certain number of matches, past matches, which is why Djokovic is still at the top, because he has recent wins over Alcaraz, even though he has been in poor recent form. Okay. So, I'll give you the top 10 based on the UTR rankings. Sabalenka 1, Swiatek 2, Gauff 3, Keys 4, Alexandrova 5, Svitolina 6, Andreeva 7, Zhang 8, Pegula 9, Raducanu 10. And if I have a look at what like factors it has, how does it work? Here we go. How does it work? So the UTR algorithm is based on a 12-month count turnaround. So it's what you've done in the last 12 months, right? So same as what we know. But it's based on a weighted average of up to 30 points and their most recent ranking. So when you play someone with a lower rating than you, so again, it's kind of like ELO, right? Where if you play someone and lose to them and they're lower rated, you get penalized. But if you beat someone higher rated, you get promoted, or you get points, or you get a better rating. So that's why Alexandrova's in the top 10, because she's beaten Sabalenka, right? She's beaten some big names. That makes sense why she would be there. It's why Svitolina's there, because she's been really good lately and she's been winning a lot of matches against lower players. But then you go, well, why is, where's Paolini? But Paolini in the last 12 months hasn't really been beating the top names, right? She's been losing to the top names. And on the men's side, Sinner 1, Djokovic 2, Alcaraz 3, Draper 4, Demonor 5, Runa 6, Zverev at 7, Cerundolo 8, Paul at 9, and Berrettini at 10. Now, yeah, the reason why Djokovic is number 2 is because he beat Alcaraz. And Djokovic didn't play that much last year, so at the end of last year, so he kind of maybe skipped, so maybe that's not super accurate because, Djokovic is maybe a little inflated at the moment. But like Runa in the top 10 makes sense. Demonor's there. Zverev at number 7 makes sense because Zverev hasn't really beaten many big names, right? Draper being 4, obviously. Fritz being out of the top 10 kind of makes sense because what has Fritz really done? Has Fritz beaten those top guys lately? Not that I can recall. Ruud at 15. I mean, that might be a little low, but again, it depends on who you beat, not what you do. So I don't know. I mean, I don't mind this system. Paolini beat Gauff, though. But when? Was it within the last 12 months? All right, 15-30. As that goes out by Swiatek. And Cocciaretto gets the 30 all. Current ELO rankings are also online. Really? ELO tennis rankings. Is that actually a thing? Somebody's already done this thing for us? Where? Tennis ELOs. Is this a thing? Or is this like an outdated thing? Where? All right. Cocciaretto trying to avoid a bagel. 40-30. Serve. Into the forehand Swiatek. 4 now from Cocciaretto. There's a bit of forehand Swiatek. Goes wide and Cocciaretto on the board. 5-1. Why are men in the WTA UTR rankings? They're not. These were two separate things. It's there. I just looked. Yeah, but so Claude, can you give us a like? It's online. The internet's a big place, and I don't know where you're looking because I'm on the internet and I can't find it. Like, are you where specifically are you looking? Because I don't have a clue. By the way, Fonseca's getting wrecked at the moment. Marijan too good. I mean, Marijan in Rome. Remember, he beat Alcaraz here famously 2 years ago, so he loves this place. Swiatek serving for the first set, by the way, 5-1. Someone out there's done it already? Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. I love it. Makes it so much easier. Overrated Fonseca getting destroyed by Marijan. Yeah, can you turn around and, like, leave? We don't want you here if you're going to be like that. We don't need that energy today. So if you're gonna come in here and just like start being rude, you just turn back around and leave. Come back tomorrow. We don't want you here for that. I don't want people doing that. We're trying to have a nice time. All right, 30-all as Marijan hits a forehand wide, 40-30. UTR has Fonseca ranked 19, which is interesting. Yeah, I don't think that's out of the... Like, I mean, he's beaten some big names, you know, so that kind of makes sense. 15-all, by the way. Swiatek serving for the first set. Oh, you said 10... Okay, so let me have a look. So Tennis Abstract, what are they going on here? Because I've been on Tennis Abstract, but I don't... Oh, I thought these were just regular ranking. So it's on there. Okay, so interesting. That's cool. Anyways, forehand down the line. Into the backhand of Cocciaretto. She hits it out. Fonseca, by the way, holds. He stays within a break, 4-2. Okay, so the ELO rankings on Tennis Abstract. Sabalenka, Swiatek, Andreeva. Gauff, Keys, Pegula, Zhang, Raducanu, Svitolina, Mukova. Okay. And then they've got Djokovic top 3, but again, maybe it's because Djokovic hasn't played much. Swiatek gets a winner, 40-15. Swiatek to take the first set. What's YE-ELO? What's a YE-ELO? Oh, current year. Oh, that's cool. So hang on, they've got a yearly ELO? That's interesting. 40-15, set points. Swiatek says a fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Cocciaretto. She shanks it out. 6-1 first set. Okay, so the top 10 yearly ELO rankings according to Tennis Abstract. Sabalenka, Andreeva, Svitolina, Keys, Swiatek, Gauff, Pegula, Bencic, Alexandrova, Kenin. Why is Kenin in that? That's kind of interesting. I don't mind that, though. I think that's kind of makes sense. I'm surprised Penko's not higher. I'm surprised Penko's not in the top. I mean, Kenin over Penko, top 10. I don't know if that's even how that works, but Penko's beaten Sabalenka and Swiatek this year. I don't know how. Whereas Kenin hasn't beaten either of them. So I don't know how Kenin's number 10, but I guess it's math. And then on the men's side, Alcaraz, Draper, Rude, Musetti, Sinner, Demonor, Cerundolo, Mensik, Zverev, Fokina. I understand why Sinner's not higher ranked because he hasn't played as much. And I guess Rude got elevated because he beat Draper, who's number 2. And Draper's number 2 because he beat Alcaraz, who's number 1. I guess that's how it works. I'm surprised Rune's not in the top 10, though. Because Rune beat Alcaraz, who's number 1. I don't know. Where's Rublev? Well, Rublev hasn't done anything. So All right, 40-15 is Marijan tries to go to 5-2. I'm looking at the ELO year-to-date ELO, what is it? Current year ELO rankings on the Tennis Abstract website. And then I'm also looking at the UTR Universal Tennis Ratings of the top 10. I kind of think the ELO feels like the ELO rankings make more sense. Is there a year to date? If there's a year to date UTR rating, like if there was a ratings for the year, maybe that would make more sense. So I'm just trying to. So Djokovic obviously is up there because he beat Alcaraz, but yeah, Musetti not being there is a bit strange. But that's late. Like Musetti's being really good lately, so maybe it's a bit too recent. Musetti's number 11. It definitely, but it doesn't matter if you go with UTR or ELO. Both are way more accurate than the current rankings suggest. Like the current rankings don't. Like there are some players that have got points to lose in like 3 months that are hanging in there. Whereas at least the ELO and the UTR ratings, like they kind of give a little bit of a snapshot of what's been happening lately, which I like. I like that, that Cerundolo's in the top 10 because he's been playing well lately, right? Even though in the rating, he's never been in top 10 ever, right? I like that Alexandra Eala and Svitolina are getting recognized as some of the best players at the moment, whereas they're actually not top 10 in the real rankings, right? So I kind of I like it better. I do like it better. It does give a better idea of what is going on in tennis. It's a more accurate representation of Bencic has been playing great this year, and she is number 8 in the ELO ratings, right? And the players that are not doing well are not there. Even though they might be in the top 10. Some players are in the top 10, they're not playing well. But it shows, I like it. It's definitely more helpful than, to know who's playing well. Because if you're not in that rating, you're not playing well. Pretty much, right? Oh yeah, Rublev beat Draper. Forgot about that. Rublev did beat Draper. But that wasn't when Draper was up the top. Otherwise, he would be up there too. Yeah, interesting. Seems like both lists, Medvedev's not there, right? Medvedev is not on the list of either play. In fact, going on the Tennis Abstract ELO year to date, Djokovic is 27, right? Medvedev is not even there. Like, where the hell is Medi? Medvedev's not even on the list. Where is he? Rublev is 47. Which is wild. Oh, there he is. 22. Medvedev's 22. And then Medvedev's 22 on the UTR ratings too. So again, that's accurate because Medvedev's not been playing well lately. So he's not, even though he's number 10 in the world or whatever, 11 in the world. Interesting. All right. First set in the bag, 6-1 Swiatek. Cocciaretto getting a little frustrated herself. Wins the point, 15-all. Emma has done well when she has played. Yeah, where's Raducanu? So Raducanu is in the ELO ratings is 33. And in the UTR ratings is 27. So again, I feel like it's more accurate. Because Raducanu, it kind of shows again that Raducanu is better than her rating, her ranking. And that maybe she gets a little bit of a hard time for her. Like, she's been playing well. She's been losing to... I mean, if you lose to players that are higher ranked than you, then you're not doing too badly. Fonseca is the biggest noob. That's strike 2. I asked you nicely. That's strike 2. If you're not going to say anything nice, you can leave. 5-3. We're not doing that today. I don't want to have this Fonseca overrated, blah, 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 nobody cares situation. So please, don't do it again. We're having a nice time. We're discussing ratings and we're discussing tennis and we're having fun. So please keep it to yourself or leave. 30-all. Swiatek backhand to the backhand of Cocciaretto. Forehand Swiatek. Into the forehand of Cocciaretto. Puts it in net. And it's 30-40. Swiatek for a break to start the second. Marijan serving for the first set, by the way. 15-love. I'm honestly shocked that people still think Emma is not even top 30. Yeah. All right. Nice serving Marijan. 30-love. Enough with the ELO discussion, Cam, please. Okay, 30-love. As Cocciaretto double faults and Swiatek gets the break. 1-love in the second. As the return goes in the net from Fonseca. 40-love. Love. Problem with the ELO system when we have knockout tournaments is that we don't get an adequate sample size. Yeah, that I see what you're talking about. All right, return goes the backhand of Marijan, but he overhits it. By the way, Swiatek at 1,000 level when she wins the first set is 97-0, and when she wins the first set on a clay court, she's 81-1. Swiatek is crazy. By the way, the wins really picked up. Marijan set point number 2. 40-15 as return goes in the backhand of Marijan. Marijan hits it wide. 40-30. And I'll tell you this, chat. Actually, I'll wait until the end of this set. 40-30. And we'll talk about Fonseca for a second. As Marijan serves an ace. All right, first set in the bag. 6-3. And chat, this will change with more experience and more matches and more tennis. But this is the second time we've watched Fonseca on a windy day struggle. I can't remember the first time. I know we watched it. Was it? It wasn't against Sonigo. When was that? What was the match, chat? Try and remind me. What was the match that he played? No, it was Draper at Indian Wells. Super hard, windy conditions, and he just didn't. He's hit 3 winners and 13 errors, Fonseca, right? And look, is it all to do with the wind? Debatable. But this is the second time that we've seen him. No, sorry, it was Indian Wells against Fernley. Was it against Fernley where he just got the win? And it was uncharacteristic struggle, yeah. That's it. That's what I'm thinking. Wasn't it Draper as well? Was it both? Or was it just Fernley? I thought it was both. Or one. I thought it was windy on both days. Or was it just the one? Can't remember. Because I remember the Draper match, he was playing terrible too. Just the one? I can't remember. But we'll go with just the one. So Fernley, he did win that match, but he played like we weren't expecting Fernley versus Fonseca to be close, right? He just same condition for both players. Yeah, but again, okay, but like that's not what I'm saying. It's handling it differently. Different players handle things differently like this. An 18-year-old Fonseca who's just getting started and his game, for example, Alcaraz might also have a little bit of this problem. Need the ball to be, need to hit the ball clean because they go super aggressive. But if there's a little bit of breeze around, it, moves things around so that it's a little bit awkward, right? Whereas Marijan, his game is a little bit more margin for error. So he doesn't go for the lines. He's not going for big shots. He's just trying to he's a little bit more, I guess, risk averse with his game. A little bit more topspin, a little bit more safe. The wind's not going to affect his game as much. It is still affecting him, though. You're right. They're both playing in the wind. But there's players that play, like Raducanu, for example. When it's windy, when Raducanu plays, her margin of error is so slim. But then when the wind, plays a part, she has no margin for error because everything she hits is going to blow out or in or go crazy, right? Whereas Swiatek in the wind is really good because she does have that margin of error, right? probably part of the reason why Swiatek's dominating right now, because it's windy and it's not really affecting her game because she's got enough spin to control. But Fonseca doesn't have, like, we've watched it. We've watched Fonseca play in the wind, and he does seem to struggle in the wind. Like, it seems to be a bit of a problem. But, again, he's 18, he's going to learn, and he's going to get better. But it's just something interesting that if it is a windy day, we've got to, next time we watch Fonseca, if it is windy and the conditions are not favorable and not good, it's an awkward day, we've got to watch out. By the way, I swear that Draper Fonseca was windy. I swear that match was windy too. I'm just gonna rewatch some of the highlights. I swear it was windy too. But yeah, definitely Fernley it was windy at Fernley match because I can see they were talking about a towel blowing on the court. The Fonseca Draper match was over so quickly that we don't remember. Here we go. What's Fonseca Draper? No, can I not see highlights? Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell because they're running around. I just need them to stand still, then I can... Yeah, I can't tell from this one. I guess maybe what? Yeah, I can't remember. I remember the Fernley match was crazy wind. But I can't remember the Draper match. I remember Draper played really well, but I don't know if it was Fonseca was making errors because of being lefty or whatever. Anyways, Swiatek looking for that double break, 30-40. 30-40. Should he play a different style when he's in the wind? He should come to the net more. Like, he can volley great, Fonseca. Like, he should come to the net. Double break for Swiatek. 3-love. He should come to the net a lot more. That's a great, that's a good strategy when you're playing in tough conditions. As he double faults Fonseca, and it's 40-30. Wind keeps picking up and then dying down, so it's just very crazy, is it? All right. But yeah. Did we end the conversation about ELO ratings? I can't remember. Do we need to add anything more to it, chat? Does anyone have anything to add to ELO ratings or ELO or UTR, or is there anything else we need to add? I feel like it is a better system. It's a more accurate system when it comes to like who's playing well in the moment. Like, if you were saying like, Cam, who's playing better right now, that would be a reliable system to base that off. Whereas the current rankings don't always show who's playing well now, right? Maybe Fonzie likes playing in windy weather. Well, his results would suggest otherwise. Wind keeps, yep. Cam is a big fan of Swiatek. Ostapenko is a persona non grata here. First of all, can you speak English? Because I don't know what that means. Oh, not welcome here. Bro, are you kidding me? Are you saying that we don't like people that like Penko here? Are you crazy? Chat, get him. All right. Swiatek with a 4 under the line is a winner, and it's 15-love. Defending points is important in tournaments. You play better at and defend. Yeah, but Yeah, I guess. But then, like, if you play well at one tournament per year, then don't play well for the rest of the year, it's kind of doesn't accurately depict your ranking. Won't. I mean, again, I guess the best example is Raducanu being top 10 when she only won the US Open. Was she number 10 in the world? Technically, yes. Should she have been number 10 in the world based on a 12-month ranking system or 12 months of tennis? Probably not, right? She wasn't the 10th best player on the planet. She just had a really good event where she won a lot of points that elevated her ranking. So again, that's the conversation, is whether or not somebody who has one really good tournament, is that an accurate depiction on every week of the year? Hell no. Whereas an ELO system where I'm sure Raducanu in 2022 was not top 10 in the ELO system. She might have been top 10 after the US Open, but after the US Open, like 3 or 4 tournaments later, she would have been number 25 maybe. Or someone like Vondrousova or Krejcikova over the last couple of years. They do really well at one tournament and then they don't really do much else. Krejcikova is a great example, who won Wimbledon, but that's all she really did until the end of the year, 30-15. As Swiatek serves again. She's got a 3-love lead in the second. As Swiatek serves again. How does Swiatek's form look this game? She looks great. She looks like herself again. Playing aggressive, but controlled. And the thing is, chat, the reason why Swiatek would be playing a lot better is because she's not afraid of the returns. Whereas last week, when she played Madrid, almost everyone she played, had a great return, which meant her serve was under pressure. As the backhand goes out by Cocciaretto, 40-15. Whereas if I have a look at last week in Madrid, she played Eala, very aggressive returner. She played Noskova. That was her best match against Noskova and handled that well. Against Schneider, that was rough. Against, obviously, Keys and Gauff, can be very big returners. Cocciaretto is not going to hit return winners on a slow clay court. So I don't think Swiatek is bothered by missing the first serve. But this is probably the best match Swiatek's played on clay so far this season. As the backhand return goes back to Swiatek, and that's a winner. Yeah, Swiatek, like, this is... I know we're being distracted, but Swiatek is playing the best match of her clay season, and this is where you should play her best, right? I mean, this is the last chance to get form, but it's also the most important tournament to get form. Rome is where where we can get the best analysis on who might win the French, right? Who might play well at the French. All right, Cocciaretto hits a winner, 15-love. By the way, Fonseca just can't handle Marozsan right now. Making a lot of errors. Swiatek gets a return winner, 15-all. $15-all. And 15-40. Marozsan to get the break in the second. Serving to the backhand of Marozsan. Return goes in the backhand of Fonseca. Backhand of Marozsan down the line. Great shot. Fonseca gets it. As Marozsan forehand down the line again. Up goes a lob by Fonseca. It's a bounce smash from Marozsan. Fonseca gets it with a backhand on the stretch. Marozsan down the line. Fonseca with a pass. Marozsan volleys it away. Jesus. This guy he waits to play his best tennis in Rome. I mean, goddamn. This guy, why is Marozsan not higher ranked, and why the hell don't we see more of him? Because in Rome he plays amazing, and then we don't hear from him for 12 months. Also, Chad, I want to make an interesting comparison. And man, this is just a theory, so don't crucify me. 15:40, by the way, chance for Swiatek to get the double break. As Cocciaretto serves a fault second serve. And I kind of felt this coming in as well to this Marozsan match, but just hear me out. Second serve. Into the back of Swiatek. Backing out from Cocciaretto in the net. 5-love. Swiatek to the serve for a bagel. This is the Swiatek that's going to win the French Open. This is Queen Swiatek. Fonseca is most like who? Chat. Who is Fonseca most like? What player does Fonseca remind us of currently? Who currently plays? Who is he the most similar to out of the big names in the top 10? Who is he? Who do I compare him to a lot? Alcaraz, right? Who beat Alcaraz at this event 2 years ago? Marozsan. So I'm sure that Marozsan is probably using a lot of the same tactics and a lot of the same strategies that he beat Alcaraz with 2 years ago. And he's not the same as Alcaraz. He's a much rawer version than Alcaraz, right? He's not Alcaraz because Alcaraz got 4 slams and much more polished. But you wonder if Marozsan's like, well, I've played Carlos and I've beaten Carlos Alcaraz here, and he's a better version of Fonseca, or at least Fonseca's maybe like I said, a less experienced version of Alcaraz, but they play a very similar style. And maybe Marozsan's like, I'm going to use the same thing I did against him, against you, and it's working. Just a theory. Don't hurt me. It's just a theory. It's just a theory. Just a theory. All right, 15-love. Marozsan with a set and a break. All right, 5-love. Swiatek, just back to business. She's won this tournament a lot. This was the first tournament where she actually double bageled. Speaking of double bagels, double bageled Pliskova in the final here a couple years ago. All right, serve. Into the front of Cocciaretto. Return goes to front of Swiatek, who hits a drop shot. Cocciaretto hits a winner, though. No, Swiatek puts up a lob. Okay. Cocciaretto in trouble. Gets a backhand, but Swiatek comes in. Hits a smash. Cocciaretto fell down with a lob, but it went long. Oh, man, Cocciaretto, that's unlucky. All right, 15-love. Love. Serve again. By the way, Fonseca's forehand in this match is just not working. Not even close to his best. 5.4 shot quality compared to a 7.6 for his average over the last 12 months. So his forehand is not working. By the way, Marozsan drop shot, one of the best drop shots in the world. And he wins a point 3-1. Like, that drop shot by Marozsan is what put him on the map when he beat Alcaraz. And then he did it against Ruud, I think, in a couple of tournaments after that. But the Marozsan drop shot might be the best drop shot ever. Like, that was insane. Like, that drop shot was incredible. Like, that's how you want to hit a drop shot. And Fonseca's not slow. He's fast. All right, 30-love. Swiatek 2 points away. Swiatek serves. A fault. Second serve. Better than Alcaraz? Yes. I think Marozsan's drop shot is better than Alcaraz's drop shot. I don't think Marozsan he doesn't hit bad drop shots. Alcaraz does throw in a couple of bad drop shots. 30-15. Not demon fast, but okay. Wait, did I say that Fonseca was the fastest player on the planet? Or did I say Fonseca is very quick? I'm pretty sure I didn't compare him to Demon Or. 30-15. Swiatek serves 2 points away. Return there from Cocciaretto. 40-15. Swiatek cruising. 51 minutes. Welcome back. Queen of Clay's back, baby. This is the queen of clay. 40-15. Serve to the back end of Cocciaretto. Return goes back and Swiatek. She hits a drop shot. Cocciaretto gets it and puts it away. I like that Swiatek going for drop shots though. It shows that she's, she can, like, she's using this match as a bit of practice, right? To try different things. I don't mind it. Even though that was a terrible drop shot and she didn't win the point. But I don't mind that she's trying to mix it up. That's cool. 40-30. As the backhand return goes out and Swiatek wins in record speed. 52 minutes. One and love. Could have been love and love. All right. They hug it out of the net. All right. That is much better. That's the best match that Swiatek's played on clay, and I'll tell you when the last time she did that on clay. Because it felt like Swiatek hasn't been like that. Hasn't been ruthless like that in a long time. So she did, in Stuttgart, she did beat Fett 2-2. But that was like that was a whole different level of savageness, that one. Last time she played like that, you probably go back to the Olympics where she beat Schmidlova in the bronze medal match. So it's been a while since Swiatek did that. What came out and just didn't look like losing. Like that was such that was a beatdown. That was as impressive as it comes for Swiatek. Like that is the Swiatek that we have come to know over the last couple of years on clay. Like that is the clay queen Swiatek. All right. Easy win. Now, if you want to keep watching the next match, we are still watching Marijan taking on Fonseca. So jump on over here and we will merge the streams. Fonseca's hanging on at the moment. He's down a break already and he's trying to keep the game going. But great win by Swiatek. That's the type of tennis that we want to see from Iga. And this is the best time to do it. I mean, last chance for her to really stamp her foot down before we get to the real one, the big tournament. But easy win by Swiatek. Straight sets, 1 and love. She is into the third round where she might play Danielle Collins, which is going to happen on Saturday. Maybe.